We're going live a couple minutes early today. Just so I can get things adjusted. And set up. Cool. I just saw the video pop up here. That's muted. Good morning, good morning. Hi, Aunt Audrey.
Hi all. No, that's Nina's dad. He's an awesome dude. Awesome.
How are you today? Good morning, Mom. Joel, it's not telling me who's popping up or not. Ooh, I don't know what I just did. I hit a button. Oh, I'm glad to hear it's beautiful. It's a little chilly here today.
Oh,
Can you
that's.
read that?
Oh, yeah.
That's your watch party.
Yeah, I was just. Because usually you can go in and you can click over to the other one.
Mm.
So if that's not the case, then.
We're playing with some tech potentials.
This is.
Why is my computer talking?
Because you're not muted?
Since when?
I don't know.
What's coming from? Oh, I know. It's over here. No? Says I am muted. But I can
Yeah,
do this.
computer.
Wait, if I do that, did my mic mute?
No. I just mute your speakers. Okay, so then. What the heck?
Okay, I still hear the talking. Probably my phone.
Yeah, that's what I was like. We have a huge problem because everything's muted.
Ah, it's so funny.
It's weird, yeah. It doesn't. That's all I get. I can't. Okay, well then maybe we can. Oh, wait, here we got full screen mode. Nope, full screen mode doesn't have it either.
I don't know.
So only out of our phones can we see that format.
I don't know. This is what I see, and I
Yeah.
don't see. I don't see.
Oh, it
people.
doesn't show.
No.
Oh, then I don't know. It only shows it on my watch party. Because my watch party, I get this.
Right, you get to see your friends joining. It's your watch party. That makes sense.
Okay. Then I don't know why they
Okay.
changed that.
All right, yeah, they changed it. We're trying to be sneaky with Facebook this morning. They changed the live so that as the person hosting the live, I used to be able to see everyone that was popping into the live, and I could say hi whether or not you said hi back. And so that little feature's gone, and I can't do that. So I thought, oh well, maybe if I watch on my phone, Well, actually, it is showing me a few people that I know, so I don't know what's happening. But anyway, good morning. We're not gonna fuss with that. How are you today? Are there any requests this morning for movement? Anything you're in need of? We'll wait probably another minute or so before we get started. It's one of those things I wish each time I didn't have to announce that we're actually going to start at 9:05, but we will actually start at 9:05. That just gives people a little bit more of a gentle ease in. Zoe's here too. Zoe doesn't have a Facebook account, so I suppose I'll never see if Zoe's there. It is showing me, I think, friends that pop in. I don't know. Goofy Facebook. So for this morning, if you have a blanket or a full-size bath towel, or both, they would be a couple of props that will make this practice just a little bit more useful. So you want to grab those if you have them nearby or maybe in a closet down the hallway. I can show you what I have in terms of a towel. Right before social distancing really began, Big Lots was having a huge clearance on their towels, and I happened to be in need of towels, so I got some full-size bath towels to use just for yoga. Something like that, and then fold it in half, and we're going to roll it up this morning. So if you have your towel, and it doesn't need to be a real tight roll, but something just slightly loose. And somehow, even in this room, Joel, there's dog hair. Our puppy is shedding his puppy coat, and so there's this long white fur on everything right now. No matter how often I vacuum or sweep, there it is. So a fold.
Giving a clean puppy a bath just to get rid of his hair today.
Yep, we are giving the puppy a bath just to help him shed a little bit quicker. Because every time he shakes, it's just like everywhere. So it'll be neat to see what colors come out when he's done. So about like this. And then if you have a blanket, it can be folded right up, about this thick. And that blanket you can set off to the right side of your mat. And the towel will be up near the top. And we've used the towel like this before. I'll have the towel on the right side. I think I'm going to scooch my mat forward just a little bit. So, good morning, Tim. How are you? I do like being able to see who's popping in so I can say hi. So, making our way over to our mat, a towel and or blanket if you have them easily available today. And we'll go go ahead and get started. Good morning, good morning. I'm Paige Aya of Karmic Roots Yoga, and my partner Joel Choate will be performing live during our practice, a morning mindful movement practice. Morning mindful movement is all about the idea of just really landing in our present moment and noticing how each and every breath is feeling and how each and every movement is serving us today. So this means you're invited to really tune in to what feels good for you. And if something isn't serving you, leave it out. And that goes with any practice that you do, with me or otherwise. Always listen to yourself as your first teacher. Your body knows best. I don't know what your body wants or needs. Not truly. Only you know that. So I'll offer guidance, suggestions, and then you take over from there. Alright. So let's make our way onto our stomachs today. And this is a really wonderful tip that I learned from Pranava Yoga Studios. My teacher Melissa, she is a somatic and restorative focus teacher, and she uses a towel across the chest and then slightly tucking into the armpits when we go onto the front side of our bodies, prone. And this just gives us a little more space for the front body, so that we can find a little more ease in the pose. So, making your way there however serves you, and having that just across the upper chest, and then the edges of the towel can kind of fold down, and you can stack your hands with your elbows out to the side and rest your forehead on the back of your hands. So, from here, maybe shifting the hips a little side to side. And really just beginning to notice how it feels to rest on the front side of your body in this moment. Make any adjustments. Feel the points where your body connects to the floor, the tops of your feet. Maybe notice where the knees rest. Are they comfortable? Does it feel good to turn the legs and feet out or in? Maybe it would feel good to put a blanket under the knees. Notice where the stomach rests, the hips. And what about where your ribs meet the mat? Notice the upper chest now. And notice where your forehead meets the mat. Notice your breath. How does it feel this morning? Where do you really notice your breath this morning? You feel breath in the low torso. But across the ribs. Maybe the upper chest. Maybe in and out through the nose. And then see if for now you can allow your inhales to expand, your exhales to gently compress air out of the lungs. So when you inhale, maybe you notice a little more pressure against the earth. When you exhale, gently the lungs contract inward. And maybe you notice this expansion not only against the earth, but along the sides of your rib cage, even along the back side of your body. Breathing in and breathing out. And maybe you notice also thoughts on your mind. Check in and see what mood you're in. Now here, slightly lift your head up so that you can take your right hand down by your right hip. And you can always slide the towel up and out of the armpit for this. And let your head rest just on that left hand. Your right elbow can bend, letting your shoulders sink. And then point through your right foot. And maybe lift your right foot up off the mat, maybe an inch, keeping the right leg long. Maybe the front of the leg lifts, maybe the knee. Does the thigh want to lift? And then slowly lower it back down. Inhale, slowly lifting that right foot up. That whole leg can peel up. Keep the leg long, exhales lower. We're not bending the knee here. We're lifting the foot, the front of the leg, the knee, the thigh, and slowly lowering it back down. Very intentional movement. Think of your inhale carrying the leg up, and let your exhale last the duration of lowering the leg. So the leg is going to follow the breath. So let the movement be guided by the breath. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Now the hand is here as a little support for your head today. And if you want to add on to this movement, the next time you lift the foot, maybe lift the head up. When you lift the head up, let the back of your left hand rise up too, so it stays resting. It's not pushing on your head. You could keep it away from your head, but it might just rest there. The head lifts, the chest lifts, maybe the shoulders too. Exhale as the leg floats down, so does the upper torso. Inhale, we find that lift. Breath guides movement. Keep your left leg heavy. Exhale, slowly lower. Moving at your pace now. taking pauses and breaks. And in between each lift, see if you can let your muscles fully settle. Find as much ease as possible in between each of the movements, really being aware of when you're creating that muscular tension and hold, and then when you are actively releasing the tension, the hold. You can even take a full breath cycle in between the lift and lower. And then when you're ready, finding the movement again. Perhaps take one more. And slowly lower. Fully soften. Bringing the right hand up onto the forehead now. Send the left arm down by the hip. Good morning, friends joining. Feel free to jump in whenever you're ready. We're breathing softly, smoothly, a little bit longer. Beginning by just pointing through that left foot, hug the muscles against the bones. And then activate up the leg. To the calf, the kneecap, the thigh, and then soften. Point through the left toes, engage the muscles, hug them to the bones of the left leg, and slowly let that go. Now this time, if you like, adding a little lift, keep the leg long, the foot lifts, the lower leg, the knee, and slowly lower down and release those muscles. On an inhale, finding lift, maybe the thigh lifts this time too, and slowly floating it back down. Maybe noticing how this left side feels a little bit different than the right. Finding lift one more time before we add on. Letting the movement last the duration of the breath. Each time we float the limb back down, fully releasing the muscular hold we created. Now adding on, if you like, as you point through the toe and lift, your head, your neck, your chest can lift, and that hand is just floating with it, or it could stay down. Your choice. As you exhale, everything returns to the earth. Release as much of the muscular tension you created it. Breathing in. Breathing out. Feeling the lungs expand into the earth. Exhales, gently releasing. And finding your flow, inhales to rise. Exhales to slowly float back down. Your pace. Keep in mind that when you float back down, feel free to take a full breath cycle to notice the muscles releasing in between each of the movements. movement follows the breath. Maybe take one more lift, meeting back down as you're ready, stacking both hands under the forehead and pausing here. Breathing in, breathing out. One breath at a time. Feel the expansion of the ribs as you inhale, the gentle release as you exhale. And when you're ready, we'll slowly lift the head and slide the elbows in under the shoulders. Little Sphinx pose here. Rooting down through the elbows. See if that gives you a little more lift in the heart. And then what happens if you hug the muscles against the bones of both legs at the same time? And maybe take a look over the right shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale through the left. And back to center. Once more over to the right, and this time taking that right knee out to the side, no higher than hip height. And if you have a blanket, you can bring the blanket in under the lower leg and foot and ankle, under the knee. And once you have that leg out to the side, slowly lowering back down and letting the forehead with the chin rest on your hand. Breathing in, breathing out. A softer, smoother breath. A little bit longer. And notice how this pose is feeling. Where do you notice? And then maybe from that right hip a little bit more toward the earth. I think my cat's trying to be a little chatty this morning. Breathing in and breathing out. A softer, smoother breath. A little bit longer. And then optional. Consider what muscles you might activate. You don't need to know the names of the muscles, but what might activate is if you were going to send that right hip bone a little bit more toward your mat. And then soften it. Activate. You feel it in the glutes, the front of the leg, maybe the top of the leg. Soften it once again. And rise up now, bringing the elbows in under the shoulders. And here, if you have that towel, slide it forward for now. And then we're going to transition onto our backs. You can do so in any manner you want, or you can come with me by sliding the left arm behind the right arm and then lowering that left shoulder onto the mat. And then gently spinning and turning until both shoulders are on the mat. Bringing the right foot onto the left leg. The right knee is still toward the left side. The left hand can come to support and the right arm can open out to a T. So we've just kind of spun around to find a little twist here. If you're not quite sure how I got there, that's okay. Come all the way onto your back and then bend your right knee and bring your right foot onto the left leg and take the right knee across your body toward the left. And you'll be exactly where I'm at. Maybe shift your gaze to the right if it feels good. Breathing in, breathing out. One more breath here. And then let the right foot come to the mat on the inside of the left leg. And let the right hip land on the mat. Right knee points up toward the ceiling. You're on your back completely. And then let that right knee tip open to the right. And your arms can rest wherever they are. Or you could take them overhead if you would like. And notice the breath here. Softer, smoother, a little bit longer. Now keeping the right leg exactly where it is, straighten the right leg. So kind of creating a wide position with both legs. And pause there for a moment. You may have noticed that you've traveled off of your mat, taking up a little space this morning. That's okay. And slowly bend one knee and then the other. Lower the arms if they're overhead. If you want, you can scooch back onto your mat. Lift and lower the hips. And cross that right ankle over the left thigh. You might add rocking side to side or bringing your right hand onto the right leg to gently support it, being open to the right. And then find center and glue your low back against the mat. Now inhale, let the low back lift up, let your ribs lift up. Exhale, glue the low back down again. Continuing back and forth. Now this next time, whenever you glue your low back down, keep that imprint. And then on your next inhale, bring your hands down by your hips, press through your left heel, and maybe lift your hips up. See if you can do so evenly without dumping over to the left. Keep that right knee open to the side, finding a lift an inch, maybe a little more, hips stay even. Exhale, slowly lower back down. Combining a bridge and a figure four. Press your heel, inhale, find that lift, knowing that if this isn't what you're looking for in this moment, leave it out. Do some other version of that figure four that is serving you. Maybe take one more if you are doing the figure 4 bridge lifts. Lowering back down. And then enjoy any variation of figure 4, either exactly where you are, or adding rocking, or lifting the left leg. Letting the left foot lift up off the floor. Maybe supporting that left leg with your left hand. You could circle the left ankle here, or add some rocking side to side. And be in your breath. Be reminded. Softer. Smoother. A little bit longer. Slowly finding center. Releasing both feet to the mat. Press into the heels and lift both hips up and back down. And then send both legs long for a moment. And notice, what do you sense here? What sensations exist? Does one leg feel more open or denser? Or even longer than the other? And now before moving, we're going to come up to seated for a moment. And consider the most mindful and easeful way for you to make your way to seated. And see yourself in your mind doing that. And then slowly make your way there. If you had a towel at the front of your mat, take it to what was the bottom of your mat. And then in seated for a moment, bring the bottoms of the feet together, the knees open. And the feet can be farther away from your sitting bones, the bottom of the pelvis, making more of a diamond shape with the legs, or you can draw them a little bit closer. This depends on what stretch feels good in this moment. Your hands can be by your hips or on your legs, on your feet. You have the option to fold forward here. Breathing in, breathing out. Rising up now. And what was the bottom of the mat is now going to become the top of the mat. What was the right side will now be the left side. Our blanket's already over there. We'll come on to our stomach. And have the towel under the elbows if it's there. You also don't have to have the towel. And bring that left knee out to the left this time. Up to hip height, no higher. A blanket can be there under that leg to support it. And once there, lowering down, if you have the towel, to cross the upper chest, elbows bend, hands stacked. Resting the forehead or chin. Breathing in. And breathing out. Acclimating to this left side. Half frog. What do you notice about this side? compared to the other side. Let the breath grow softer, smoother, a little bit longer. Breathing in, feel the expansion of the ribs against the earth. Breathing out, feel the gentle release. We'll add the engagement of that left hip first. In your mind, what muscles might get recruited in. You don't have to know the names of them. Just thinking about the general area. And then when you're ready, what it would take to send that left hip as if you were going to take it toward the floor. And then completely soften it. Engage. And soften. Engage. And soften. Several more breaths, just as you are. And slowly bring the elbows in under the shoulders. If you have a towel, moving it off the top edge of the mat. And we're making our way onto our backs again. However that best works for you. Or coming with me, sliding the right arm behind the left this time. Bringing the right shoulder down to the floor. And then spinning yourself all the way until the left shoulder too comes down to the floor. The left foot will lift up off of the floor. The left knee lifts up. The left foot can rest on the left leg. The right hand can come to the left leg. The left arm can open out to the side. So taking our twist here, the left knee crosses over toward the right. The left shoulder glues down to the floor here. So let your chest face toward the ceiling. And maybe shift your gaze over your left arm. Sometimes it feels good to let the left foot come off of the left leg. See what serves you. Breathing in, breathing out, and slowly letting the left hip come all the way down to the floor. Left knee stays bent, and then tip the left knee open to the left. The arms can rest wherever they are, or you could reach them overhead if you like. Front side of the body facing the sky. Filling and emptying the lungs. Let the breath be a little softer, a little smoother, a little bit longer. Keep the right leg where it is. And straighten the right knee. Uh-oh, coffee cup for me. Slowly straighten that leg. Making that X shape with the legs. You might even take your arms up overhead and make an X shape. A full X with the whole body. And slowly, I'll bend the knees and plant the feet. You can scooch back onto your mat here if you'd like. And crossing the left ankle over the right thigh this time. You can add the rocking, or the left hand to the left leg. And we have the option to do the figure 4 bridges. So you choose whether you're going to stay in figure 4 or if you would like to do the figure 4 bridges, finding center. The palms will float down by the hips. During this, working to keep that left knee open to the left. When you're ready, you'll root through that right heel and slowly peel the hips up. Now the left hip's going to want to dip. See if you can lift it evenly with the right, whether it's an inch or more off the mat. Slowly lower. There's some balancing action happening here. Where do you feel recruitment of muscles? What do you notice? For example, what do you feel in the right hip flexor area here? Keep breathing. Taking 3 of these. After the third, releasing down. And then any version of figure 4 that you like. Maybe letting the right foot lift up off the floor. Maybe circling the right ankle. Breathing softer, smoother, a little bit longer. When you're ready, slowly, both feet will find the mat. Press into your heels and lift your hips up and down. And sending the legs long. Breathing in, breathing out. Noticing the left side. Noticing the right side. And then just like before, seeing the most easeful way for you to make your way to seated. And then slowly make that transition. Take your time. When seated, right up and over onto hands and knees. And taking some cats and cows so the knees are under the hips, wrists in line with shoulders. Let the stomach sink downward, lift the tail up, lift the head and heart. As you exhale, reversing this. tuck head, tuck tail, and visualize as much movement as you can imagine in the spine, exaggerated in your mind. And then inviting it in, all that spinal movement. And maybe that means for you adding side to side movement. Or rolling the torso round and round. Or maybe continuing the cats and cows. Adding any variations. And just being curious about the movement now. Following your breath. Taking one or two more cats and cows. Meeting in neutral. Take the knees wide, kiss the toes, and find a child's pose. The hips can sink toward the heels. They do not need to touch. You have that towel. You could even bring it in under the ankles. Offer a little support to the front of the foot. Wherever you are, finding a way to connect your forehead to the earth, whether through your hands stacked or a blanket. Breathing here now. Softer, smoother, a little bit longer. Can you once again invite that full diaphragmatic breath by letting the stomach and ribs expand like balloons as you inhale and gently release as you exhale. Breathing in. Breathing out. As you're ready, slowly rising back up to tabletop. In here, if there are any more movements you would like, whether in tabletop or not, taking those movements before making your way to your final resting. For example, some hip circles sound really good to me in this moment, so I'm going to do those. And if you're ready to make your way to Savasana, if you have a little nest you like to make, adding a layer, feel free to do so. And then make your way there. Finding a comfortable way to rest. To be and breathe. To allow a little stillness. to allow the movements to integrate. To drift and dream. To be here now. Breathing softer. Letting the natural rhythm find you now. Gently begin to deepen your breath, letting it guide you back to this space, taking your time and enjoying the transition to wakefulness, to meet and greet the day. We run the thumb across the tips of the fingers, back and forth. Taking your time and eventually making your way up to seated, where we will meet together. close our class. Thank you for taking some time with Joel and me this morning. It's an honor to be here with you. May we know peace, wisdom, and serenity as we fill our hearts with joy, with tranquility, knowing that this is our birthright, to live in peace. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you. From Joel and myself, we so look forward to these live streams. And we appreciate you for being here with us. And Joel has a concert tonight, yes? As I catch him with a mouthful of coffee.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do the Thursday night courtyard again.
Yeah, so over on... Yeah? Doing it.
I'm pretty sure we're doing it.
We're doing it. We're doing it. So if you want to hear Joel play some...
a bunch of stuff that I haven't played before.
Oh, yeah?
I think so.
Ooh, some new stuff over on the Courtyard's Facebook page live later today. You can follow them and you can be notified when they're going live as well. And he'll be on there at 7 o'clock this evening?
7 o'clock, yes.
7 o'clock tonight. Yeah, so give the Courtyard a little love, a little support. And maybe we'll see you then. The next time you can catch Karmic Roots Yoga Live will be Sunday for some Yoga Nidra, that deep guided meditation with sound bath. And this week I think it's going to be a little more sound bath focused with just a little bit of guidance. So maybe a little bit untraditional in terms of the Yoga Nidra. And by that I simply mean not the full Yoga Nidra where we go through all of the stages, but we may just do a couple of the stages. And then let the sound carry us away. So, thank you for being here. You're welcome. You're welcome, Aunt Audrey and Mom. Have a beautiful day. And if you ever miss us live, know that you can always find our videos on Karmic Roots Yoga Facebook page. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you later.